So I hear these sirens rushing by. Then my phone rings. And I'm wondering, are these two things related? Story time, here we go. I'm going to tell you guys a story about a job that I had one time. I like this job a lot. It was a great job. Not in that I made a lot of money, because I did not, but it was fulfilling. I worked with students. I wasn't that much older than them, actually, at the time. I trained them and recruited them to do like volunteer service projects overseas, that kind of thing. It was pretty sweet. I also had to like coordinate events on campus, and a very small part of my job was sometimes bringing in speakers or visitors or something like that. We had some partners in Japan, and they came to visit our campus, and it was my job. I didn't do this very often, but when they came, it was my job to host them. I had to pick them up at the airport. I had to like book the campus hotel room. Our campus had some hotel rooms, you know, people come stay. I had to sort all that out, which is not something I normally had to do, okay? And I'm saying that up front because things went wrong. I got to the airport in the middle of the night, and these four Japanese, looked like Japanese businessmen in business suits, got out. I had the sign. I don't remember their names, but I was holding up their sign that said, "Hello, friends, welcome to America," whatever it said. And they came, full business attire, middle of the night. They had very little English, okay? There was the boss, the senior guy, who had no English. And then there was the youngest guy who had some decent English, but he wasn't really supposed to talk. I was supposed to talk to the senior guy. I didn't know all this cultural stuff at the time, and a lot of it, I'm sure, was going over my head. But I was doing my best. I picked him up. I'm just this young guy, you know. I was underdressed for what was happening. They got in the car. I do remember that in the car, as we were driving from the airport to the campus, they saw a McDonald's, and they kind of went nuts. They were like, "McDonald's!" And that was the only English word that I heard most of them say. Okay? No shade. It's not their job to speak English, okay? But I also did not speak Japanese. I wasn't sure how this was going to go. But, you know, doing my best. We get to campus. No problem. I'm helping them with their bags. I get them up to the campus hotel room, and I show them how to open the door, okay? Here's the key. Here's the lock. Here's how you turn it. Here's how you open it. Open the door. They got it. I had one of the guys did it one time. I was just double checking because as they were watching me do it, it was clear that they weren't sure how this works. It's not like they don't have doors in Japan, okay? But I've been to Japan, and let me tell you, as a foreigner in Japan, I was confused by doors, okay? Some of them slide. Some of them you don't even know if it's a door. There's a canvas thing hanging there. Is this a dude's house? Or is this the restaurant I've been looking for? That's how I know how it goes, all right? Traveling cross-culturally, maybe you don't know what a door is, okay? So this is absolutely no shade to them. But I thought I explained it well, okay? And they were like, "Okay, we got it. We're going to take a little walk, and then they were miming this to me, but from what I understood, they're going to take a little walk, and then they're going to come back. They're set. Sweet. I can peace. It's the middle of the night. It's like 1, 2 a.m., something like that. I'm going to get back in my car. I'm going to go back to my house." Okay, I don't know if y'all been in this situation, but when you don't speak the language of the host culture, you start to get really comfortable nodding and pretending that you understand. I have done this all the time, okay, in Chinese. People start going, they think that I speak some Chinese, because I do, and then they think I got all of it, and they just start going, and I'm like, yeah, yeah, and I don't even notice that I don't know what they're saying, okay, because I've convinced myself, I'm convincing them. It's my job. I'm smiling, nodding. Yeah, I'm feeling this. I'm probably imagining what they're saying. Actually not understanding, okay? This is not great for language learning, but I did this all the time. And if you've been there, then you know. You probably did this too. You fake it. You can't help it. You're talking them into believing that you're comfortable, and then you're also believing you're comfortable, and you're just nodding, and you don't actually know what is happening. Okay, a little bit of that was happening with the door. I'm driving home, and I'm on the bridge, and all of a sudden I see some fire trucks going the other direction with the sirens on. Middle of the night. This is not a drill. And I'm like, oh, shoot. There's a fire in the middle of the night? And my phone rings. And I just had this sense of foreboding that the sirens had something to do with what was happening with my phone. Is this related to my Japanese friends I just made? Pick up the phone, and I hear on the other end, they're trying, but they don't have any English. And they're like, "Christian." And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, mistake. Okay. I turn around, follow the fire trucks. Obviously, by the time I get there, it's already gone down. It's too late. I know that somehow these dudes that I have brought on campus have pulled the fire alarm. Now, what I didn't tell you is the campus hotel room was connected, is the same building as one of the girls' dormitories on campus, okay? So when I roll up, I park, and I'm running over to where they are, and I get there, and there's hundreds of girls outside looking upset, okay? Some of them had been in the shower. Most of them had been asleep. And now they were outside of the building because a fire alarm had been pulled. There's men in fire suits. They got to check is fire suit? Is that what it's called? They got to check the whole building, even though we know what's happened, okay? I get there, and all this, and the girls are looking at me like, why are you here? And they looked angry. They were looking for someone to blame. And I'm just smiling because I know this is my fault. It's too late. I'm just like, I saw a couple girls that I knew, and they were like, do you know what's going on? And I was like, I think so. And they were like, well, do you know who did this? And I was like, yeah, this is my fault. This is very much my fault. So I go up, and there they are, and they look so ashamed and so embarrassed. Just imagine, they just showed up. It's the middle of the night, but they're awake. They did a thing, and then all of a sudden, alarm, girls start flooding out of the building. What can they do? But their faces were just so much shame. And none of the younger ones talked to me. The one who could speak the most English didn't say a word. Just the old guy. Old guy locked eyes with me. He's like, he walks up the stairs. I follow him. He points right at the fire alarm. He's like, like, we did this. He's just owning it, assuming responsibility. Cultural things were happening, okay, in this moment. He was like, pointed at the thing. I was like, yeah, this. It's clearly marked fire, okay, in English. But like I said, I've been to Japan. Some doors, they be opening with levers. You don't even know. It took me an hour and a half to figure out how to pay for a train ticket when I was in Japan, okay, by myself. So no shade. They're not supposed to know. I didn't do a good enough job explaining. And the fire department came to school. Do you know how much it costs when the fire department comes to a campus for a false alarm because somebody has pulled the thing? I don't either, because my boss graciously did not tell me how much we had to pay for that mistake. But we mistake, okay? All those girls were so mad at me. And they were mad at those Japanese guys. I was like, don't blame them. They're not supposed to know. Look, just like that old dude. Assume responsibility. It was my fault. I did the thing. I might as well have pulled that fire alarm myself. I'm sorry, but it was real funny.